A dusty Buenos Aires street corner where the air hums with the clatter of life, taxis honking, vendors barking, kids kicking a scuffed soccer ball against a graffiti-stained wall. Amid this chaos, a word cuts through the din like a switchblade: Cazzu. It's short, sharp, a phonetic jab that lands with a thud. Cazzu, those hard C and buzzing double Z sounds sticking in your ear like a rogue guitar riff. To the uninitiated, it might just be noise, a stray syllable lost in the urban sprawl. But to those in the know, Cazzu isn't just a word, it's a seismic tremor rippling through Latin America's music scene, the stage name of Julieta Emilia Cazzucchelli, an Argentine rapper and singer who's turned trap and reggaeton into her personal battleground. This isn't just a story about an artist, it's about a sound, a symbol, a rebellion stitched into 5 letters that's rewriting the rules of a game long rigged against women like her. That's her, the one who don't bend. Cazzu's rise feels like something out of a pulp novel, gritty, improbable, defiant. Born in the shadow of Argentina's cattle plains, she didn't come up through the polished pipelines of Miami or San Juan's reggaeton elite. No, she clawed her way out of the fringes, a self-made force who turned digital platforms into her megaphone when the old guard wouldn't give her a mic. Her name's become a banner for a new breed of artist, those who don't wait for permission, who build empires from bedrooms with cracked plaster walls and pirated Wi-Fi. In a world where Latin music's power centers once sat smugly in corporate boardrooms, Cazzu's ascent is a middle finger to the gatekeepers, proof that the streaming era can turn a nobody into a titan if the hustle's real. Cazzu. Say it out loud. Feel how it snaps off your tongue. How that double Z buzzes like a hornet trapped in your throat. It's got a texture, a weight, a bite that lingers. Phonetically, it's a prizefighter's jab, quick, brutal, unforgettable. In Argentina, it's slang with teeth, a dismissive flick of the wrist that could mean I don't give a damn or something cruder depending on who's wielding it. Dig deeper, and you'll find echoes of Italian immigrant grit in its roots. Likely a riff on Cazzo, a vulgarity that sailed across the Atlantic with waves of workers and took on new life in South America's streets. What's wild is how it's morphed, from a rough-edged curse spat in alleyway arguments to a polished badge of honor blaring from festival stages and Spotify playlists. It's cultural alchemy at its strangest, profanity scrubbed clean, dipped in neon, and sold back to the masses as a brand. One minute it's a barroom shrug, the next it's a war cry for a generation. That's the magic trick Cazzu's pulled off, taking a word that once lived in the gutter and hoisting it onto billboards. Her music mirrors that raw to refined arc Latin trap and reggaeton have long been boys' clubs, all swagger and machismo, where women were too often relegated to the chorus or the video vixen role. Cazzu didn't just step into that ring, she kicked the door down. Her tracks hit like a street fight, unapologetic, direct, layered with a lyrical dexterity that twists Spanish into knots most rappers can't untie. Her voice isn't some polished pop confection. It's a growl, a rasp, a blade wrapped in velvet. Critics rave about her sonic identity, how she's carved a niche in a genre drowning in copycats. Take Nina Trampa, where she flips the script on feminine tropes, half seductress, half hustler, all menace. Or Chapiadora, where the beat thumps like a heartbeat under her icy delivery, a middle finger to anyone who'd box her in. She's not here to play nice or cash in on cliches. She's rewriting the playbook, line by snarling line. What's got the industry buzzing isn't just her sound, it's her whole damn presence. On stage, a petite figure with a gaze that could stop a freight train, commanding crowds with the ease of a general. I saw her once at a festival in Bogota, the humid night thick with sweat and anticipation. She prowled the stage in a leather jacket and combat boots, her hair a wild cascade, spitting rhymes that turned 20,000 strangers into a single pulsing beast. It's not just talent, it's instinct, an emotional range that swings from vulnerable to vicious in a heartbeat, hooking fans on a level that's primal, visceral, real. Off stage, she's built a brand that's more than music, fashion, visuals, a whole aesthetic that screams Cazzu without saying a word. Think monochrome outfits slashed with bold cuts, videos dripping with surreal menace, a vibe that's equal parts street punk and high art. She's not just a rapper, she's a movement, a cultural piñata spilling influence across borders. Zoom out, and Cazzu, the word becomes a lens on something bigger. It's a shapeshifter, a linguistic chameleon that wears different masks depending on who's hearing it. To a Buenos Aires teenager, it's a casual cuss tossed over a mate gourd. To a trap fan in Mexico City, it's the queen of the playlist. To an Italian linguist, It's a curious relic of diaspora slang. This fluidity's no accident. It's the digital age doing its work, letting words slip across cultures like contraband, picking up new meanings while dragging their old ghosts along. One day it's crude, the next it's cool. Language bending to fit the moment, policed by purists, but hijacked by poets like Cazzu who don't care for rules. She's turned a slang term into a mirror, reflecting how we wrestle with expression. We shame it, we celebrate it, we sell it all at once. Her story, where others see limits, Cazzu sees leverage. Coming from Argentina, a country often sidelined in Latin music's glitzy narrative, she didn't have the industry's silver spoon. No label execs courted her with fat checks, no radio stations spun her demos. She had YouTube, SoundCloud, a cheap mic, and a fire that wouldn't quit. That's the Cazzu blueprint. Take the scraps, build a kingdom, keep it real. She's not chasing commercial crumbs, she's baking her own pie, balancing street cred with a sound that hooks millions. Industry insiders whisper about her smarts, how she stretched her name into a multi-discipline empire, from trap bangers to fashion collabs. She's not just playing the game, she's rewriting the board, showing a generation of women they don't need to beg for a seat, they can build their own table. She's a revelation, she's a comet, not a candle. She's got that rare alchemy, raw talent meets cold strategy. She adapts, trap one year, reggaeton the next, without shedding the grit that got her here. Most lose their edge chasing the mainstream. She sharpens hers, refining her sound while keeping it honest. Her stage presence is a force, years beyond her age, a natural who knows power is allowed, it's felt. In a scene where women in urban genres get handed tired stereotypes, sex spot, sidekick, sob story, she's torched the script, carving space not just for herself, but for every artist trailing her dust. Her impact might outlast her hits, a legacy less about chart plaques and more about doors kicked open. Back to that bar in Miami, the bartender grinned as Cazzu looped on the speakers. She's trouble, he said, the good kind. He's right. Cazzu, the word, the woman, the wave. It's trouble that doesn't ask forgiveness. It's a buzz in your mouth, a boot on the neck of convention, a name that started as a curse and became a crown. From Argentina's backroads to the world stages, she's proof you don't need a pedigree to rule, just a voice, a vision, and a word that won't quit.